Ready.
Okay, 1936. Let's try d4. And bishop f4. Seems pretty popular these days. Bishop f5. We'll try a3 to prevent knight b4. c4. Okay. I'll go back here and take on g3. That was a safe pre-move. Okay, knight c3 looks okay. Maybe just knight f3 and castle. I mean, it's good to have the h file open, but you're not gonna mate black, unless you try something crazy like f3, g4, and probably just castle and not think too much about it. a6, castles. He'll play b5, but I think the bishop can just go back to e2 or even b3. Both are okay. Or a2. a2 is fine. And the knight can sit on c5. One of the problems with all these pawn pushes is that my knight can now sit on c5 comfortably, if that's what it wants to do. And there's also rook c1. BA, okay, BA we'll play BA. Yeah. Queen d6. So as before, the knight, as I mentioned, the knight will sit on c5, and it protects the a3 pawn from the queen. This doesn't achieve anything. I don't know if he wants to take on f3. Maybe he just wants to push e5 someday, and this pin is useful. But we'll just continue with rook c1. He can't put a rook on d8 because there's a knight b7. But he can put a rook on b8, which is probably what he will do. Although it does hang a6 if he moves this rook. He might hang a6. But then again, I hang a3, so. Knight e7, okay. The knight can sit on e5 someday if this pin weren't there. So let's try to make that happen. Let's try queen c2, or queen d3, or queen d2, d3, d2, d2. The queen can go to a5 someday too, maybe. Bishop takes, g takes. Okay, so I don't get knight e5. But I get this nice compact structure from my king. So I'm not getting mated for sure. I don't think getting mated was a concern. But now we have this king shelter. Queen c6. That's a discovery on the queen, if I ever saw one. I could play knight takes e6. And then if he takes on f3, I take on f8. And I don't think he has enough for the exchange. Knight e4 is also playable, but it just takes on f6. But knight takes e6 looks good. I don't think he has enough for the exchange. Okay. So I'll do that. He'll take an f3. Why not? But I'll put the queen on d1 to exchange the queens. Or just take c7. Greedy. Take c7. There's nothing happening here, so. I can take c7 later. Safety first. Okay, queen there. Rook c5 is playable. I mean, I guess I'm afraid of this. But if I take the pawn, he gets counterplay with the rook on c8 someday. Maybe just rook c5. Yeah. We'll worry about the pawn later. Queen here. Is this almost a queen trap? Bishop b1? Not quite. He's got queen h6. But maybe I can get some pieces out. h5, okay. Oof. So the queen's gonna sit on g6. After this move, the queen will still sit on g6. I think I'll just take the pawn. It attacks the knight. Okay, bishop b1. Looks like it wins everything. I'll try that. I mean, there's knight h4 attacking my queen, but I think after queen h1, he's
victory.
Hanging. Yeah, okay, so he just resigned. Yeah, knight h4, probably just queen h1, and everything's hanging. But he can go back to f5. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, good game.